Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures. So today is going to be episode 47 of This Week in Action Figure News. I'll be talking about Hot Toys, I'll be talking about the 2026 convention, the flops, some disaster, and a lot of hate going around this set over there. So of course, I'll be talking about a little bit about my health because this is going to be pretty impacting. So without further ado, let's jump into this episode. So, like I was saying, let's start by the convention. So, of course, this is the Comic-Con exclusive who went up for pre-order. And again, it was a bit of a disaster. I understand that Hasbro is trying to find themselves, but anyway, they seem to be a bit lost with what they're doing around here. They need to figure out something because it is getting pretty out of control. So, of course, we had Shipwreck and Cadet Dennings who's going to went up for pre-order or for order because they're already shipped out. Of course, when I'm doing this video on Sunday, mines have shipped out to my US address, so I will be getting them pretty soon over there. And of course, this one did not sell out. Of course, this one sold out like I predicted. This is an army builder and should have never been released as a Comic-Con exclusive. But by the looks of it, Hasbro has a ton of these because they are currently back up and it's been a week and nothing has sold out. So on day one, they sold out very fast. Some people said they sold out in 24 seconds. I was able to pass 2 orders, and it took me over 3 minutes, about 3 minutes to do the orders, and I was able to get them. I'm going to let everybody decide what is out there, but the original ones sold out. Then, of course, we have some of the Marvel Legends. I normally don't speak about these, but this one did sell out, but it took nearly a week for it to happen. This one is still available. Then we have, of course, in the vintage collection, the set with Anakin Skywalker and Asajj Ventress, who did not sell out either, but it is a pretty weak set from my perspective, and this one didn't sell out. As you can see, it is a pretty cool set if you really think about it. If you want to recreate the Battle of this planet, can't remember when they're facing off against the 212 and they're killing each other because there's General Quill, I think, who's out there. Again, an army builder, but again, this is a lot of money asking on the behalf of Hasbro for these sets. So yes, they are still available. I thought they might sell out a bit faster than that, but by the looks of it, that didn't happen. Then, of course, we have the big controversial set, who is this one over here, because it was a press announced, said that it was going to be $51.99, and it turns up to be $80. So that's a pretty steep part about it. Of course, I do like this little ship because I had it as a kid when Kenner made it, and I was using it with Action Force. It was a vehicle that joined the Space Force, or it would join the enemy depending on the mood I had, but it was a pretty fun ship, pretty basic, but it worked pretty well. And of course, so you have the Int Force ship. Of course, this is what a lot of people wanted. They figured they don't really care about the Imperial Remnant. Have a look at it. But again, Hasbro, if you're going to announce a price, then you're going to put it up of about $30. This is 3 3/4 inch figures. Yeah, that is really something that you need to work on, and I'll be talking a bit more about Hasbro regarding my feelings about G.I. Joe and where they're going and how they should course correct, because there's a lot of issues, and also why am I downsizing my collection. Anyway, now that we got this out of the way, let's have a look at Hot Toys. So, Hot Toys give us John C. the first, so I haven't played Fortnite. I don't understand why Hot Toys is going to Fortnite. I guess it's maybe they want to go after this license, but when I'm seeing all the other people who went after this license, like Hasbro or even Lego, I don't see those sets selling out like crazy. I think the game has a bit lost its momentum, and a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, but it is still a very popular game. Well, after what internet is saying, this one is in 4th to 5th position in the numbers of players, so yes, it is pretty impressive that the game of a certain period of time. Don't remember when it started. If you want to put it in the comment section, or if you play this game, let me know a bit more about it, because I don't know much about this character. And from what I've been able to read, this is going to be a limited edition of 3,000 pieces worldwide, who is pretty close to what you get on a regular basis for a figure. And the suggested retail price is $390, who is very expensive for this. So I don't know what our friends at Hot Toys are paying for Fortnite, but it is pretty impressive. So I decided to pick up some pictures. Of course, you know me as a G.I. Joe fan. I see the possibility of making some kind of custom version of Duke, but not for $390. And like I said, most of the weapons over here I don't really care about, and it is interesting, but the fact of the tattoo would not work for Duke. But if you wanted to make a bit of a G.I. Joe classified Duke, a bit rugged, or going into a bit of an inspiration, this character could work. But I mean, for the price, yeah. The piñata, I must say that I feel like the piñata, when you think about the price, you're really getting, Hot Toys is really beating the crap out of you for this one, and I don't understand why they're going over there. So yeah, yeah, $390. I have a hard time justifying this to pick it up, even if I wanted to make some kind of custom Duke. If there would be some other characters, you could say, oh, okay, maybe, why not? But otherwise, for me, this is going to be an easy pass. Anyway, let me know if you're going to be picking it up, not picking it up. So, of course, going into what we always have, the separate rolling eyeballs. I think this is garbage, and it's a gadget more than anything else. Then, of course, we have the seamless silicone arms and body. As you can see, there's a lot of plastic going around. So again, how is this going to age? Is there going to be some discoloration coming from the armband, from some of the accessories over here, because this is something that has a tendency of happening. I'm pretty happy that there's no fake leather by the looks of it, so that's kind of good news if you're going to pay $400 for a figure like this. So yeah. Afterwards, highly detailed and screen accurate costume. Well, again, we are on a $400 figure. I think it's the minimum that Hot Toys can give us. And again, you can see certain ideas where you could go on to trying to make a classified Duke with the way he looks. It does give me a bit of a vibe between the first one that came out and the rugged one that is announced in the classified line who's not out. But yeah, this is something that I will be passing on. So, of course, here's everything that you get with the figure. You get a few weapons. Again, the weapons are a bit futuristic and completely, yeah, don't work for me. And like I said, for the price, I cannot justify it to pick it up to try to make a custom with it, because like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I really don't need at all. So, I'm going to be quickly talking also about my little health problems, because they're back. And I guess if you've been following the channel, you've been noticing that I haven't been publishing a lot of stuff. So my fix, so temporary fix that was done, kind of worked a little bit, but we are back to again massive bleeding, pain, excruciating pain. I must say, I knew that it was only a temporary fix. And of course, I still had to do some surgery later on. There was a few little tests in another hospital who's a bit bigger, who's about an hour drive from where I am, but I had to push forward the appointment because it was planned for the end of this month, and now it's going to be on the 19th. So if you don't see much videos, I'll be posting up stuff on Facebook and on, of course, YouTube, but I might not be doing much reviews. I'm going to try to get out some extra videos. I have some reviews that I made, but it has been very, very hard these last 2 weeks working with the pain and not being able to do anything at all. So, of course, I'm sorry about it, but those matters do have some importance to me, and I need to take care of my health, because It is something of importance for my daughter, my family, and my friends. So of course, I'm going to be pushing back and putting a bit a halt on the YouTube stuff, but it's been going on for 4 months. So yeah, that's one of the big issues that I have currently facing. So of course, I will have more news on the 19th. I might not do a video depending, but I guess it's going to be a bit later on when I will be doing the biopsy to see if there's any problem. There should be no cancer, but again, it's something that you have to always be wary about, but technically there shouldn't be any cancer at all. So on that, I'm going to be finishing this weekend episode 47 of This Week in Action Figure News. If you like this kind of videos, please leave a like, share, comment in the section. Are you picking up any of these figures? Are you also pissed off with Hasbro? Let's start a conversation about our favorite hobby. Of course, if you wish to pre-order this figure over here from Sideshow, you can do it. I have an affiliated link in the description. You can also go and check out my Facebook page, Instagram page. There's plenty of pictures. There's some new file cards that I've added up there if you're a G.I. Joe classified fan, so go and check it out so you don't miss anything at all. And like always, I'm going to wish you have a fantastic Sunday if you're watching this video on Sunday, and if you're not watching it on Sunday, I wish you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!